Hello, um, it's me again. First off, I'm trying out a different camera software, so if I seem a little distracted, that's why. The I've been a little in a weird funk of late. That happens to me. People have been watching my channel for a while know this. Um, just finding a hard time finding things to talk about. Now, that said, I have finished reading the Hollow World setting stuff, and I'm looking at possibly getting that done up as a write up soon and putting up an episode soon. The thing is, there's a lot involved in the Hollow World, more than the other Gazetteers in a lot of ways. So I may break it up into a couple of episodes because it is quite so much information and things going on there. Now, going forward, I was trying to think of stuff to do. I still will probably do an occasional live stream of the Sword Coast Legends, but it sounds like they're that down. Well, not shutting it down. They're not taking the game away, but they're just not developing it anymore, which is a shame. But so that's probably not going to be as much of content than I thought it would be going forward. I am thinking about doing something about settings, though. Now, settings are an interesting thing to talk about. Um, as far as gaming settings, I want to take a look on a critical level. Well, semi-critical level. Different settings, look at the history and how they tie into the systems that they're tied into. Now, obviously, this will involve some of the D&D settings, and you really can't talk about game settings very easily without at least covering some of the D&D ones. I've already talked a lot about Mystara, but there'll be some others that I'll talk about as well. And then there are settings of other games that I want to talk about, like Traveler and Shadowrun and Rifts and various others. The key here is I want to steer away from the licensed settings. Well, no Game of Thrones, no Firefly or something like that, which are excellent and they're really cool settings to talk about. But there are a lot of people that talk about them, and more importantly, they were existent away from and outside of games. Whereas I'm looking at game settings that were designed for games, and see how they tie into the games that they're part of. I think that'd be an interesting discussion to have. Now, the problems with it is that some of the games are games I haven't played. Others I've played some, but I'll try and be as informed on them as I can. But it seemed like a good idea of some content I want to dig into and dive into and see what we're looking at with that. Anyway, that's sort of my plan going forward for a little while. I have some other ideas that I'm bandying about, but it can be hard sometimes. Life gets in the way. It can mess with your head some, and you can feel discouraged because you're not coming up with new stuff all the time. And this is just the reality of this is not my day job. This is something I do for fun. If it were my day job, I would have to be making a lot more money. But yeah, so as a result, I sometimes have a difficulty coming up with new content, and I apologize for that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here, and hopefully the new software is not terrible. We'll see how all of this came out when I'm done recording. Anyway, subscribe, like, share with all the people. If you feel like going over to the Patreon and contributing, I would appreciate it. But, no pressure. I'm going to keep making stuff whether people do that or not. It would be helpful, but I can't support all the things I love on Patreon. I do, but I can't get everything. So I'm not going to hold anyone else to it. But anyway, yeah. And otherwise, uh, thanks for watching, and have a good day. And try and stay out of trouble. Especially you. Yes. You. I see you. Quit doing that.